Hey, what's up? I'm Joel Madden, and this is Artist Friendly. On this episode, I'm talking with singer-songwriter and one half of the platinum certified duo Phantogam, Sarah Barthel. Let's go.
I don't want no bad times. I don't want to have bad.
Thanks for bringing Leroy.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for hanging with Josh the other
It was great.
day. I heard you guys talk for like 18 hours.
We did. We were probably like 2 hours.
Jesus. I mean,
And you know, at first I didn't know if he would talk that much.
well,
But then I started my wheels going.
this is the thing with Josh, and I know him very well, but he's very shy and kind of standoffish, and kind of like people like have a little bit of judgment. Like, is he like too cool for school?
Yeah, he's cool.
But
he looks cool.
He is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super cool. But he's also like the most incredible. He loves chat. We'll talk for like hours and hours about our feelings.
There's some depth in there.
Oh yeah.
He's got feelings.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very sweet guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But at first you're like, wow, this guy's cool. I don't know.
What'd you guys talk about?
Oh my
Cool
gosh.
stuff?
We
Probably
went-
just all the cool stuff.
Well, at first it started really cool.
And then where did it end?
And then we just started opening up and talking about, I don't know. I mean, we talked about feelings a little bit. We talked about
Did you?
how we think the universe works, I think.
Okay.
And he talked about you, about how much he likes you and
Imagine if
how
he
great
didn't.
you are. I can tell you guys have a very long-standing, deep friendship and almost like familial relationship. Like
Yeah.
you guys have been through life together.
Yes.
Feels like.
Like everything.
Yeah.
Everything is pretty wild to be that close to a human being.
Well, it's rare that you can
Extremely.
have relationships like that stand the test of time, in the sense of like from our adolescence to adulthood, through also being in a creative relationship with someone, being in a business relationship with someone,
Yeah.
and then having the experience of what it means to be like to have an artist career
Yeah.
and do that with someone. It can go really well. It can also go really bad.
Yeah.
So-
No, I mean, we've had all of it go right and go wrong just at different times.
The spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but also looking back on it, it's a trip because we fully survived. We dated for 6 years.
Yeah, he told me that.
Yeah. We were good friends in high school, and then come here, bud. Take a seat. We were good friends in high school, and then I went away. I went to college, and he went down to New York, and he played in a band with his brother. And then we met back up on like Christmas Eve at church.
Oh,
Which
wow.
was so wild. It's very serendipitous. My mom always claims it to be like she was the reason that started the whole band.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's like, you got to go to church. I'm like,
When you were home from college.
yeah,
Okay.
it was a college, yeah.
Okay.
And he was there, and then so we met back up, and we always come here, buddy. Maybe you can take him.
What's up, Leroy? You can do whatever you want, Leroy.
Okay, why don't you just do whatever you want?
Yeah, there's no wrong thing Leroy
Yeah,
could
he's
do.
gonna want to sit on your lap.
Yeah, he can totally. You want to come up here?
Yeah, he definitely does. He wants to stare at me, I think.
I'm going to look at...
There you go.
There we go. How's that? Is that good?
Okay.
There we go.
Cool. He's interviewing me. Okay.
Does this distract you?
No, it's great.
Okay,
It's awesome.
great.
Okay, so yeah, we met back up Christmas Eve. Then we started dating. We dated for 2 years and then started the band. And then the band survived 4 years. So 6 years of us dating. And then it all kind of just fell apart right at like the moment that we finally like were getting to a space. It was like when we released our biggest song, When I'm Small.
Mhm.
The music video, it was like those tears in the music video are
So you guys
real.
were breaking up.
oh yeah
Oh, wow.
yeah
Wow.
yeah. So those were the emotion channeling was actually just like legit real.
So so when you were forming the band, it was kind of also like it was all wrapped up in, it was all mixed up. So it was a
Yeah.
romantic relationship was forming
Yeah.
or developing. Or wait,
No,
no,
it
you
was
dated
already.
for 2 weeks, for 2
2
years,
years.
and then you started the band. During the 2 years you were dating, were you talking about starting a band, or was he producing and you were like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it, or like how did that decision go? Oh, let's do the band.
Josh had he was making beats and just working on music, and I fully was obsessed with the beat tapes that he was just making.
Yeah, he's very good.
Oh, it's like, I mean, full on original motherfucker. That
Yeah.
just full. I mean, the beats that no one has ever heard before are still timeless and relevant. That if we like release them now, it'd just be like, wow, this is so fresh,
Yeah.
so good. So he was doing that, and he asked me to sing on a song that he was working on. And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I love singing, but it was never really a thing that I was expecting to
It wasn't like an
pursue.
aspiration.
I mean, it was always a dream, but I didn't really think that I could do it. I wasn't it wasn't and not in a bad way, but I just wasn't like fully supported as a like, all right, you got a passion, let's get you to it. It
Right,
was
like
just,
that wasn't a pathway presented as like something that felt like, oh, that's a real pathway. I could be a singer.
yeah.
Right.
No, it was just a hobby.
Right.
You know, it was like but also a hobby that I didn't really want anyone to know. But he asked me, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And it was so fun. And especially like since we were in a relationship, it was just, you know, the magical connection you have with an artist that you, as you know, writing something and working on something with someone is even beyond just love with a person.
Yeah, it's a whole
And it was
different thing.
Whole different thing.
But just as magical as you could say, like there's romantic relationships, there's friendships, there's different partnerships, and making art with someone and creating with someone is like a very like, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it's a very intimate, cool, fun, magical, special. It's all the things like when you do that with someone and you have like chemistry.
Yeah,
it's
very
real.
magical. Yeah,
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, I mean, you have that with your brother,
Absolutely.
which is, you know, kind of very similar, I would think.
Yeah.
Especially him being a sibling and you guys growing up together. I would think.
Yeah, he's more than just my brother. He's like my best friend, my partner, my other half, and creative thing we have together is like it's different.
Which is also wild because he's your twin,
And he's my twin.
That's insane.
It's weird.
I can't even.
But we don't even think of ourselves as twins.
Of course you don't.
It's just it's just like we're just a duo.
Yeah, it's fucking sick.
Yeah. So did Josh kind of like push you towards your dream?
I mean, he taught me how to write. He taught me how to produce. He taught me how to record. Taught me how to play. He taught me how to connect. Because I was a visual artist. I was doing that kind of stuff in college. My dad was a photographer, so I was very influenced by like wanting to live up to his name, and that was what I was kind of expecting to do. I don't know.
Interesting. So you were in a creative house. It's not like you were in a house where they were like science or nothing.
No. I mean, my dad was a photographer, like a ski photographer, and like in the model world.
Oh wow, a big photographer.
He was well known.
Or successful.
Yeah, successful. Yeah. He got sick when I was young, so it was never like you should follow me and do. It was more of a like he passed away when I was a teenager, and I was like, I'm gonna do that because what else should I do?
That's tough.
Yeah, it was wild.
To lose your dad when you're a teenager.
It was wild. He had a brain tumor that grew in his frontal lobe for about 10 years, maybe 11 years, and we didn't know. Yeah, we didn't know it affected his personality though. So he was this, prolific artist, like life of the party, the funniest guy in the room, loved life to cut to 10 years. The tumor fully took over his frontal lobe and he was a full asshole.
Wow.
like a dickhead.
And you didn't even know.
We didn't know
Wow.
because it was so gradual. It was so gradual. And so it was like the only way we knew was when he had a seizure, and he was driving, had a seizure, and then he got diagnosed, and we were like,
So tough.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I mean, it's every time I do tell the story, it's kind of hard to believe. But yeah, so yeah, he passed away when I was 17. But
sorry.
thank you. Yeah.
10 years of experiencing something that you don't know you're experiencing.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of it, after you lose, your parent, I'm sure that is something that takes a long time to work out.
Yeah. Tens of thousands of dollars of therapy.
Yeah. Like coming to terms with that is like, you got to give that credit.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like the music was part of that too?
Yeah. I mean, I there's a lot of things I realize, I think just learning about yourself in general with therapy, I'm a huge advocate.
Me too. Big time.
Yeah.
I don't miss it.
I
have it this evening.
Yeah.
I'm not missing it.
It's a game changer.
It is.
But yeah, it's scary to learn about yourself and why you choose the things you do and what you do because of what happened to you, because you didn't know what was happening until later on. You're like, oh, so that was weird, huh? Oh.
And how organic we are. Like we have quirks and things that like make us. It's not that we would change those quirks even, but we got them from growing up through the cracks.
I mean, I wouldn't change a thing when you say, I can say that, but also I'm like, I mean, that'd be kind of cool to have a dad and stuff.
Exactly. Like if I could, if I could change it, I would.
Yeah.
I really would. I would change. I had a very complicated relationship with my father. So I made the best of it. And it did give me some strengths.
Yeah.
It also gave me some weaknesses.
Yeah.
And so if I could go back and have a storybook relationship with my dad, he's passed away too, but
I'm sorry.
That's okay. If I could go back and just choose, like if we could scroll and choose the experience we want to have with our dad, that's a nice idea. It's kind of like a Black Mirror episode.
Sure.
Because I was thinking about this the other night. I think now we're going into Josh territory.
Yeah.
Do you want to like get in the crack here?
Yeah,
Is that
probably.
You want? Get warm?
He loves a good crack.
There you go. Yeah, we all do. I was watching Black Mirror and
wild.
And I was like, that's so sweet. He got a little place to. What it kind of shows you is there's always a deficit. There's like margins with everything. And so if we got to choose how our outcomes and control outcomes, we would pay for it somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it kind of like made me think like it's good to question everything and it's good to wonder, but if I changed anything about my past, it would change right now.
Yeah.
And I think right now is where I actually want to be.
For sure.
Through the work I've done on myself and the time I've invested in my marriage and my life and things I care about more than anything.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to compromise those things.
Yeah.
And so if I go back and change anything, it might compromise something.
Even knowing that too, which is something that you need to compromise. I mean, I'm sure you can relate of being in a situation of where like the band is everything.
Yeah.
There is nothing we're going to say no to.
Yeah.
Because this is what it is, and the sacrifices you don't even realize you're making until later on. But also kind of have to make those sacrifices to appreciate, I think, just kind of how much work and energy you gave to something that really means something to you, even though right now it might be just a different perspective. I don't know. Do you guys have kids?
2 kids, teenagers.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah. 17 and 15.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's wild.
I know. I can't relate. I mean, he's my dog, but
it's not for everyone. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. I'm not
Why
one of
do you
those
say
people.
that?
I'm not one of those people that thinks everyone should have kids. I think that I love my kids.
Yeah.
They changed my life.
yeah.
I know what I've had to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I would do it a million times over. In fact, if I could go back and relive my kids' childhood again, I would.
Yeah. Wow.
Because it goes too fast. And
Right.
I feel like I know more now than I did then. And I wish I could go back with what I know now and redo it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like I've tried really hard, but I think I'd do a better job. But I'm lucky my brother has a 5-year-old and a 1-year-old. And he is getting to have the same experience I had with me in his ear going, yo, trust me.
Yeah.
Say no to that. Just go home and like do
Yeah.
bedtime. And like he does it, and he really and I was with my kids a lot. Like we stopped touring a few years in. Like the first like 3, 4, 5 years of their life, they were on tour buses and they were like on tour with us, and it was not good for their family.
Right.
And then we stopped.
Wow. Why was it not good?
Oh, it was just too hard when they started getting like 4 or 5, starting like get to school, things like that, and we couldn't have kept doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that no one can do it. I definitely know people that do it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's everyone's different. My wife was not. She grew up with a dad who toured.
Right.
So she was not. She was like, I'm not doing this again.
Right. Okay.
You know?
Yeah. So she wasn't like, I know how this works. We're going to do it the right way. You guys are going to be able to tour still. We're going to bring the kids on. And she was like, I'm down to make it work if this is what you want to do. This isn't what I want to do, but I'll do it. Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so she was supportive. But I actually think I didn't want to do it either. I think I wanted to like dive all the way in and do the family thing, which I did.
Like full stop with music, writing, everything?
Pretty much.
Wow.
I mean, in that time, I would say over the last, if we say like, let's say 2012, 13, 14, maybe, I would say we made a couple records, but they were more us wanting to just make a record. And so we went out for a month.
Right.
And did a few weeks of shows, but it wasn't like a real cycle.
Yeah.
It was more just like a little.
Like the promotion side.
Go out and do a month of shows. And
I mean, it's exhausting. I can't even imagine trying. I mean, it's weird getting older too. It's weird having this career for so long. You know, we're going on 17 years, 18 years, right? And, you know, as a female getting older too, it's like, to me, a female in this industry has to sacrifice a lot more than if they want kids, or if they pick the, you know, if they want the family.
I agree with
the
that.
Kids. Yeah. I mean, I'm aware of that. I know that. It was never, I've always wanted to have kids, and it wasn't like a decision for me to be like, all right, I'm picking the career. Like that's where I'm.
It's not one or the other.
I couldn't slow it down, and I wasn't missing anything that I was like, oh, I need to fill this, you know, this hole that I think a lot of people put into females' heads. I mean, at least me growing up, of like, when are you going to have your kid? When are you going to feel unconditional love? Like, why are you waiting? I'm like, I think I already feel unconditional love from my friends, but am I supposed to think differently? Should I change my perspective of like, because that's just, it's normal. It's normal for women to feel the pressure of you're missing something.
Yeah, well, you're told from a young age, everything tells you just by what you see, what you hear, what you watch, what you look at, or the ads you see, the this, the that.
Everything.
The implied message is when you grow up, you're going to have kids. And then that will make you the fully developed woman.
You'll finally be happy.
You'll finally be, what a woman is supposed to be.
Yes.
That's the thing. When I said not everyone should have kids, that's actually what I mean. Is like, we're all kind of told the narrative of success is this, that. And it's much harder for women, in my opinion. I have a daughter. I'm very aware and I'm very anxious most of the time that she's being. So I'm telling her the opposite. I'm like, you do what you want. You don't ever have to get married if you want. If you want, you can. If you don't, you want to have kids, you don't. Like, that's a very personal decision and part of the journey. And there's no version of it that's right or wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not anymore.
And
It's pretty amazing.
And I think that whole narrative, so I think I would go further than just in the music industry. I think we live in a world where it is so normal to objectify women in every single way, criticize women, that we don't actually call out as it happens. It's happening all the time. And, having a daughter, that's the thing that I just am always so angry about and worried about, is that she's coming up in this world where everybody just gets to comment on any given thing that she does or says or wears or whatever. And on the other flip, as a man, you can literally go through life and do whatever the fuck you want, and get away with it. And by the way, I have that privilege. I'm walking through the world through a man's eyes, and realizing if no one's saying anything about how that guy looks, how old he is, what he's wearing, and
nothing.
And if he has this status or this status, he can get away. It's interesting how men get away with so much naturally, right?
Right.
And it is what it is. It's just how it is. I see it and I go that's kind of and women are faced with the comment section in every which way.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to raise a daughter that is not beholden to that comment section.
But how do you, it's not like you're going to take her phone away.
No.
Obviously I don't.
No, you can't.
Think that's what I have no idea what.
No, you can't.
And so
you can't take a 17-year-old's phone away.
No.
It's their whole life.
I love how I just pictured that though. That
not happening.
That's hilarious. Give me your phone.
I think my partner is an extremely strong person, and she has faced all of it.
Yeah.
Just her whole life.
Oh yeah, that's right. So she has a lot of experience with that.
Yeah,
when she was in her teens, probably.
Yeah, and she got ripped apart, and still, people still are, people make passing comments,
and it's okay,
and it's just okay because you know what I mean. So there's the rules change. The way the world I think is there's different rules for different people. So if you're perceived as someone who was born into wealth, so we all have a perception of you now.
Yeah.
If you're a woman who's beautiful, we're perceiving you a certain way. Okay, we can be decent unless if you're this, if you're famous, or you're this, or you're that, we don't have to be decent.
Right.
We can all just throw shit at you, talk shit. And so it's interesting how a lot of things slide in to that bucket with women when people are straight up objectifying them, straight up attacking them. The rules change based on who the woman is.
Yeah.
Where's she from?
Absolutely.
What's her, and
I always think about it of just, God, I'm so glad there wasn't the internet when I was in
oh my gosh, it's
high school.
We didn't even know.
I wasn't even doing anything bad. I just wouldn't want anyone judging me.
Yeah.
I was doing nothing. I was probably playing hacky sack or something.
Yeah. I wasn't doing anything bad in high school either. I was a pretty good kid. I was just, but you don't want anyone looking back at old embarrassing moments and putting them up there and making, trying to shame you for some dumb, you know what I mean?
This is always a thing too. Brings me back to, the way that Josh and I started the band isn't clearly a completely different time. So we always get asked of fans or, we have meet and greets and stuff. And they're like, if you could give me one, give me a little bit of advice just of how to do it. How'd you guys do it? And I clearly, you got to just keep going with it and believe in yourself and all those things. But also I don't know how people do it now. We came in the time of, burning CDs and handing them out to people on the in coffee shops of hey, come listen to us play.
Yeah.
And then we would play in front of 5 people, and either those people would listen, or they would listen, they would tell another 5 people and build up like that, the touring and stuff. And now I would I don't fucking know how you do it. Like, where are the core fans that will listen to every album that you come out with because they've been following you, because they invested their time in with you? Like, I don't know what they do now because the social media is so bizarre to me.
Yeah, it's such a
and
shit
numbing
show.
And gross
And overwhelming the amount
I wouldn't, there's no way we would, if it was now, there's no way we would be a band.
You think so?
Absolutely. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think we would have survived.
Wow.
Because I think artists have to have so many more mountains and journeys to have to figure out and discover and be confident and knowing that you're doing something interesting and believe, like knowing that you're doing something different. I mean, I know there are artists out there that are unique and different. I mean, I'm a fan of a lot of mainstream music or just today's music, but I can't just having the brain, the capacity of what is normal now is not like when Josh and I were growing up doing it.
I think that I feel the same way as you in the way I relate to it, because I think I don't know how to navigate social media very well. I think I found a niche that I'm comfortable.
Right.
I know exactly what I post, and then I feel like, okay, I'm social mediating.
Yeah.
I needed to learn how to do it. Now I do it, and that's the capacity. I'm at full capacity.
Social mediating.
I will not have any new tricks.
No.
I'm doing it enough that I feel like I've competently figured out how I do it. Like, I'm satisfied.
Yep.
And so, but I do feel old.
Yeah.
But I think the young artists that I work with, that I see, they grew up in it. They just understand it like language.
True. Yeah, you're
they
right.
speak the language. It's like a different language. It's like they understand, they move, they see, they know. And I think it's a generational difference.
Yeah, that's true. But do you think it takes away from time and creativity and of learning and growing about yourself and who you are?
I would say maybe for some people, or it could temporarily put someone, elevate someone into a position where they're presented as more of an artist than they are.
Yes.
So I'm not trying to be mean, but I think that there's a lot of ways, but the true artists will always emerge over time, I think.
Right.
I do.
Do you think the true artists that don't have the kind, like, I always think about this because, when we started and I struggle with being a businesswoman. I struggle with being a boss. Like, I struggle with all of the things that you're supposed to just know how to do. I kind of wasn't thinking of signing up for all of that. I wanted to just be an artist.
I think the statistic on bosses and CEOs and people in leadership positions is something like 80% of them feel like that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty normal.
Yeah. And so where, it's either you're really good at it. You also have to believe in your team and the people that work with you.
Yeah.
You got to believe in them. But so you kind of have to let yourself go in that space and be an artist. But to me, what is it like now? Because everyone is their own influencer. Like they have I'm this and I'm that. And they've grown up to be their own bosses in all of the ways. That's where I mean, it's very admirable. And that is where I feel old.
Yeah.
But like,
me too, by the way.
How does that work and be an artist? Like to be both and knowing that you're doing it because you want to be an artist and you're not just trying to be an influencer. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I think that I actually know some young artists that are not good at social media. I think it's different. I think it's different things. Like, I think the social media thing is something like, it's hard to explain, but it's like a mainstream mass interactive shopping mall that we're all told we need to go to, and we need to buy things and sell things there.
Yeah.
And so most of us do. And then we see the value of it. I think, like, it doesn't matter if you have a website now. People go to your Instagram and they look at your band's thing and they go, oh, they're going on tour. Oh, there's a link for their shop. There's a link for their...
Yep.
And you have your profiles here, here, here. And this is where 80 to 90% of the people that are consuming music content, they're all in these platforms. And so we just need our pages here. And like, that's actually the only thing you need is a representation in all those shopping malls. And then there's people in that big shopping mall that we're all in. And me and you may not go there every day.
Yeah.
We may like, or we may not. But there are people that are in that mall and they know how the whole thing works and they're just really good at it. And so they're selling a little bit better. But then there's artists that aren't participating at all, but their music is so good that it's making its way in.
Yeah.
And I do think that the real art, the really good music breaks through and will last and stand the test of time.
Yeah.
So there's a band we work with that I love. I've known them since they were teenagers. Been working with them for over 10 years, called Chase Atlantic. These Australian guys. They do not give a fuck about social media. They do it almost because they know their fans are there. So they try to give something.
Yeah.
And they really do care. They're like, let's try to like participate for our fans. And they've gotten better and better and better at it. And they're younger. They're younger than me. I mean, they're in their 20s. And so they have a very modern way of looking at the world. So by no means are they out of touch. They just don't care.
Yeah.
And the only reason
That's
they're
amazing.
there is actually they've just amassed this large fan group and the fan groups are there. So they try to plug in and give to those people.
Yeah.
But they are not caught up in like comments or anything that anyone there's saying. Like they don't give a fuck.
That's amazing.
And I see that and I go, they kind of taught me. I thought I needed to be more on social media maybe, but I found like, no, they just engage the way that works for them.
yeah.
And they give what they can.
yeah.
And then they may go off for months without. And I just see them interacting with it with no anxiety
yeah.
or
Yeah.
stress. And they're doing really well.
That's awesome.
So I kind of like to take a page from people's books where I see it's working for them. And I'm like, oh, they don't seem stressed about this at all.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That is true.
Like I think Mitchell would, if I asked him, he'd be like, what? I don't think he cares. I think he's
That's
like,
great.
he just wants to make music and he
Fuck
makes
yeah.
great music. And I kind of like learned a little bit by thinking, oh, I need to do this. I need to be on social media. I need to do this. And then I kind of saw how they treated it. I thought it was
Yeah.
really cool. And so I tried to continually try to find the way that I do it and then just be good with it.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
all perspective too
Yeah.
of what I think what your idea of success is as an artist.
Yeah.
Of what you're doing. I mean, we've always had the dream, to sell out arenas and, all the things. It's still a dream, but it's also really incredible to have the perspective of like, when we were first starting out, it was us in a hatchback, in a Saab hatchback, packing up ourselves and, whatever season it was, winter, freezing cold, upstate New York. Getting in a car, driving and doing a little 5-day tour and being like, fucking doing it. We're a band and we're going to sleep.
Yeah. We're a real band.
We're crushing it.
Yeah.
We're going to sleep on a stranger's dirty floor tonight. And it is going to be so awesome.
It's going to be so great. I remember that.
Yeah. And like, Josh and I, and we always joke about it, but it is true. It's like back then we were just so excited. It's always been, the same thing, a little bit more comfortable now, but like in the microphone and maybe halfway in the set, be like, all right, well, we're Charlie Everywhere. It was our band at the time, Charlie Everywhere. And, no, we don't have a place to stay tonight, so come chat with us in the back in the merch table if you
Got some room.
got some room, which was always
How
the,
was that?
the weird guy, not the lovely people. It's just like, yeah, come on. But
Yeah.
it's also, but sometimes you
It's
would get me
strange
like,
sometimes.
hey, we're having a rager. You want to come and then you can sleep at our place, and be like, sure, yeah, not realizing that you have to stay up until they want to go to bed.
Yeah.
And it's just Josh and I, again, like we were dating.
Thank God you guys had each other.
Also didn't tell anyone that we were dating because we
Okay.
didn't want to be the band that was dating and like loved each other and wrote
Yeah.
love songs about each other. So
Yeah.
we would, nobody ever knew,
Wow.
which is a whole different thing.
When did you let people know?
We never did.
You never did.
We never did. We talk about it now as a joke. I mean, wasn't a joke. It was a really important time in my life, but we always kind of like to make people uncomfortable and be like, "Hey, Josh, you want to get back together?" And then be like, "Yeah." It's like, what went wrong? Should we try it again? And people are like, what is that a joke? Like, are you really dating? Like, is this serious? You're like, yeah, kind of are. I mean, it was
6 years is a real
6 years.
That's a long relationship.
It's a very long relationship.
Usually by 2, where like usually by 2 or 3 years,
I know.
you kind of know which way I think a relationship. So
2 years.
6 years is a real commitment.
Real commitment. And then it was exciting too, because
but you were making it together.
We were making it. We were like, let's do this together. We'll be able to travel. We'll be able to see the world.
Yeah.
We'll be able to I don't know, maybe have a family and maybe buy a place but also let's just go to Europe and see Europe. Like, holy shit, we get to go do that with your favorite human on the face of the earth. And it was the dream. It was.
And then to break up and stay a band.
Oh boy. Well, that is a whole different.
Like, how do you do that? Because I'm thinking well, how did fights go?
I don't know how.
Do you fight? Do you fight a lot? Like, how does that relationship work?
We don't fight a lot.
That's nice.
But he is the one human being that will get me to a place where I will say some nasty shit.
Yeah.
If
the buttons.
Oh, he knows them.
Yeah.
And I know him for him. We don't do that anymore. We've learned that isn't really the right way to fix things.
Therapy helps.
Back then though, in the fucking thick of it, when
it's weird how that works.
And we didn't stop. It's so crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't stop, so we kept getting these things. Like we do these tours and we were in vans.
And your band's getting bigger and
we were
bigger.
driving. We were driving all over the country nonstop with, a trailer, kind of kept adding a few more people, but all sleeping in the same hotel room, didn't have enough money, 5 of us, and I'm the only chick.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking losing it.
That's tough.
Because we're broken up and I have to see him go through the breakup the way he is going through it, and I'm going through it my own way, and there's no escape.
That's tough.
And then we got to go play Kimmel.
Oh.
And then I got to keep my fucking cool.
And you got to grin and bear it and
no
go out
one
on
even
stage.
knew, couldn't even talk to anyone about that we were actually dating, because no one, our people that we toured with knew.
Right.
Because they heard the fucking fights. But I always think about that time in our careers. Those shows must have been so incredible, because those singing and scream that me singing, performing was straight at Josh.
It's like a rock and roll movie.
I would rather die than to be with you is one of our lyrics to When I'm Small, which is I think our most well-known song. I'm not really sure, but
one of them.
Every night singing that was just the fucking pinnacle of I hate it. Just losing my mind. But thank God I had that lyric. Oh my God, thank God we had that song.
It's crazy because you guys are such a good duo.
Yeah. I mean, that was all it was. There was a reason. The band came from love,
Yeah.
It came from friendship even before we started dating. I mean, we've been in each other's lives since
you were kids,
since we were 4 years old.
And maybe are your parents friends or something?
Became friends.
Right.
When we went to the same church.
Right.
And Josh's dad would pick him up after school every day at my house, because we lived on this street called the Crossroads, which was the main kind of drag where all the kids, you'd leave school, go through the cornfield and the cemetery, and you would end up on our street, which was the Crossroads, and that was where everyone would hang out. And Josh would be skateboarding, and I'd be jumping on a trampoline, and tons of just the neighborhood. I mean,
so you knew each other your whole life.
Just always loved him. I mean, he's just one of just my favorite, and always someone I looked up to. I mean, he was a year older than me, but
when you're a kid, that's a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, he was
into cool music.
He was a cool skater dude.
Yeah. He liked
Ride
the
or
Beastie
Die.
Boys.
He shaved underneath his head. He had the part in the middle.
Right. With the shaved side.
Yeah. Wore the really baggy
skater
jeans.
cut.
Knew how to skateboard.
Yeah.
Also was super cute. He was so hot. He looked like Brandon Boyd in high school. And
Right.
so all the girls were like,
Yeah.
oh my God, hey, Josh. But he was just so like, he was so nice to everyone. He was just the nicest guy. But his dad would pick him up after school. And so, I'd see, I worked at the local grocery store. He'd come in with his dad.
What did you do at the grocery store?
I was the cashier.
I worked at the grocery store.
Did you?
Yeah, I was the bag boy, and then I became a cashier.
Paper or plastic? That's when you
Yep.
had the choice.
Food line.
How old were you when you started? When
I worked that job, I was 16.
Yeah, I was
So I
15.
had already started the band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That must have been crazy.
Yeah, well, we had the band. We started the band. We were 15, and we had to work jobs from 14 on. I was working jobs because I had to help
Wow.
my mom. So
Yeah.
So we were doing the band and working jobs and trying to finish school, and like it was just like the teen years were so hard.
Yeah.
But
That's wild.
they gave me such a great appreciation of like work.
Oh my God. I mean,
I
yeah.
really liked my jobs.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I liked them. I liked earning money.
I just liked earning money. Yeah.
Yeah. And I felt like
I took it very
adult.
serious.
I did. I
was
tried really hard.
Yeah. I remember I slept in once.
You were late to work.
Yeah. I was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes late. And I just cried. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to let you guys down because I knew the other ladies that I worked with, they were all older women, like retired kind of. And, they're like, they got to go watch their fucking soap operas and shit. And I'm sleeping in.
Yeah.
Rude.
I did that once too. when I was 18, I was the assistant manager at a clothing store.
Oh, wow.
And it was a really important job to me because I had gotten, raised and I was making really good money for what I thought.
Yeah.
And I overslept and I was opening the store.
Oh.
It was bad.
So how long did you oversleep?
Like an hour.
Oh.
Yeah. We were playing shows, practicing, trying to figure out how to record, all while working and like paying rent and it was terrible.
Yeah, there were no alarm clocks back then.
Yeah.
I mean, there was, but if the power went out, you're screwed.
Yeah, it was bad. But I was telling Josh, I think it's amazing that your relationship could survive
Yeah.
the romantic period. Again, I also think, not to say you guys weren't meant to be together, but I think like we're taught that if we have a relationship with a woman from
Yes.
the time you're a kid, the only relationship that you're supposed to have with a woman is a romantic one. I think that's the
Yep.
message we get constantly.
Yep.
Is like, so I think most of the time when you kind of strike up a friendship, you think it's supposed to be romantic.
Yeah.
And
Always.
and maybe it was supposed to be romantic. I'm not taking that away, but like the proof of the relationship is that you guys, not only are you business partners,
Yeah.
your creative partners, your artistic partners, and your friends and something like family. I mean, when you think about
Yeah.
what you've been through together and what you've survived, because surviving a career and not becoming a shell of a person
Yeah.
and maybe a drug addict or or whatever you want to become to escape
Yeah.
whatever this thing does to you. No one can. The only people that know what I'm talking about are people who have lived through a career and the ups and downs and the disappointments and the highs and the lows and all the great things it is and all the pain and suffering it is to be an artist for a living.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably moments where you sit there and go like, look what we've done.
Oh my God. Every single day.
Or how did we survive? Or whatever the version of that
Every
is
day.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty incredible as a friendship
It's wild.
to exist this long and to go through all the things you guys have had. It's pretty special.
It's so special, and we're both so grateful for it. If we're like, I don't know, getting on the list to go see our favorite band, we're like, hey, isn't this cool? Like, we just can like text Mike Morey, our agent, and he just puts us on a list. Isn't that isn't this cool?
Of course.
Or like, yeah, this is awesome. Or to to be able to come here. That's what we would say if he was sitting next to me. Like, isn't this really cool? Like, this is our job.
Yeah, this is technically work.
It's to share it with somebody. And I'm so grateful that I don't know how it fucking happened. I think it was the universe making it, like something, a higher power allowed us to get through that breakup to continue as a band. I mean,
I have a theory.
please. And I can respond
just-
to it.
It just went.
Yeah.
Okay, so my theory is we won't know all the great talents because most of them quit.
Mm-hmm.
0 to
I know.
0 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in, however long it takes you to get to the national stage where people go, we all agree.
Yeah.
And then the group just keeps getting bigger. We like this band. This band's cool, right? You guys have carved out a place in the halls of music. You did it. So everything else now is just adding on to the foundational legacy that you built over the last 17, 15, however many years. But that first 5, 6, 7 years is so hard.
So hard.
And so painful. What if your subconscious self, what if you were holding on to each other to get through that because it knew on the other side was this?
I love that.
And so I think our subconscious is so powerful that we think we're making decisions because we want something, but it's making a decision to carry us through something.
Yeah.
And maybe the only way you would stay together is if you loved each other.
Yes.
And so in that time, you needed to actually love each other.
Yes.
To get to the other side of that growing and that pain, the growth arc of the early stages of a career and how hard that is, sleeping on the floors and the disappointment after disappointment because they said no and this didn't happen. And, you know, it didn't work out like we thought. And
I also think it's because we knew how much fucking energy and time and effort and sacrifice we put into the band. When we broke up, we were like, ain't no fucking way this is not gonna be the end of us.
We're not burning this down.
We're not gonna do a little breakup, Stevie Nicks. Like, I worked too hard for this shit to happen, and we, not intentionally, but we chose Phantogram. Phantogram was kind of like our child.
Right. You
chose
chose it over everything.
And we chose it over the, you know, the, I guess, relationship and the comfort and that type of person. But at the end of all of it, Josh is still the closest person. I mean, we don't have sex anymore. It's
like family.
And I don't cuddle. We don't cuddle. I mean, what else is like, to me, is like, he's my best fucking friend. I come to him for anything. He's witnessed everything I've ever gone through, and he will continue to witness. Like, he is my fucking dude.
That's really special.
Yeah.
It's like family.
It's like family. It's like family, but I think what you're saying about your brother, it's more than
Deeper.
family because we've experienced
everything.
Like
we survived
together.
together,
got fucking through it.
It's so much deeper than romance. It's like, damn, we saw some shit.
We saw oh God, and we share every memory. And the beautiful about it is that all of our songs are about the same thing because we're so close that we're going through the same shit together.
Yeah.
And then we get to play and write these songs and perform them while having the same connection. It's not like I'm writing a song, but Josh has to sing it, even though he's not really relating to it because it's not his life. We have the same we have the same brain, the same life, the same everything.
Yeah.
And so it's all continued to be connected in like in every way.
I totally get Phantogram now.
You know?
But I feel like I told Josh this sitting with you guys. So cool, by the way, because I'm a fan. And I have so many friends that are like, oh, that's so cool. I told my friends, I always tell a couple of my friends, like, who's coming on the show?
That's awesome.
And they're like, fuck, that's cool. So this is a cool one.
On paper, we look pretty cool, but we are fucking
on
goofballs.
paper, you're very cool. And the music is good. Even the most importantly, like the music is great. And you also could tour with anyone. Like you're one of those bands. Like you could tour with anyone. You fit on so many different bills, you know?
Yeah.
Which just says a lot about good music. But
thank you.
Talking to each of you is really cool because now I totally get Phantogram.
Yeah, yeah.
And I get like but there's real depth there to like these kids who like went off on this journey.
Yeah.
Made it through making it with your band. And then on the other side of what you thought was maybe like a romantic relationship, you realize was like your best friend.
Yeah.
Right. And you're still making music and you're still doing like, and probably better than ever.
And good. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, now we're smarter. Now
you're probably
we know
better live than you've ever been.
Oh my,
like,
it's
funny how that happens with age.
Totally. Yeah. And knowing what to do, the right doing the things that maybe you didn't know to do 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And like, growing up in East bumfuck New York, like upstate New York, like more cows than fucking
Yeah.
people. Josh and I both grew up on farms.
Yeah, not far
Like
from Cooperstown.
Yeah, not too far from Cooperstown.
It is bumfuck.
Like fucking goats and pigs.
That's like where I grew
and
up.
gardens. Yeah.
In Maryland.
Maryland. Okay.
The same place.
Yeah.
The East Coast, as soon as you get 30 miles outside of any city, you're in the stakes.
Yeah. And that's, I grew up picking fucking berries for fun. There's not like, and like, I don't know, peeing off of a bridge.
Yeah.
That was sick. Like those types of things. Like,
Yeah.
well, I wonder if I could pee off of this.
It's a great bridge.
I don't know.
This is a great bridge. Can we jump? It's too high. We could pee though.
Fucking pee though. Like to that.
Throw stuff.
Throw stuff. Coming from that to, obviously now, but like collaborating with our favorite artist, like Big Boy, the whole Big Boy thing.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Like what? Excuse me, what?
Yeah.
Like I thought, I don't know what I thought. I don't think we thought that it was going to be any of that was going to happen. But when that shit happened, that was a trip. We're like,
it's cool
Big
shit.
Boy is calling my phone right now. What do I do?
Is he cool?
He's cooler than a polar bear's toenails.
He seems like
he's the fucking coolest human being and the nicest. And he's one of my favorite human beings. Like we always kind of tie it into, because Josh and I started being influenced by bands that were unique, and Outkast was top on the list.
One
and
of
we
the best.
always called ourselves Aquemini because I'm an Aquarius and he's a Gemini, and Big's an Aquarius and Dre's the Gemini. But Big and I have this really important relationship between the two of us where we're very similar, and we just fucking make each other laugh. Just he just thinks I'm the stupidest person involved because I
like to laugh.
Love making him laugh. Like I'll just say anything just to make him. He'd be like, "You stupid." I'm like, "Yes, I love you." He's the best. He's the nicest dude ever.
He seems. I'm a huge fan. He seems like he's cool as shit.
Yeah.
I always thought he'd be nice.
Oh,
you know how you get a sense of people, and most of the time you're right. You're like, I
absolutely.
think he'd be cool.
And Andre's just unbelievable.
I bet
too. Like they're just good, solid. Like the Stankonia and like the Dungeon Family crew are like family to us. We've developed a relationship that has solely come from the beauty of art and music. And having that just having that language together, coming from us, East bumfuck New York, the whitest person. I'll say me. Josh isn't. I mean, I'm just goofy, weird, fucking love running in the woods, white person. That
I relate to you.
And that's still, I don't know, it's still me.
Yeah.
But technically, I'm like a part of the Dungeon family, and
that's pretty cool.
But there's just the language of music.
That's it.
Is so powerful to allow something like that to fucking ATL, to Stankonia, to Aquemini, just Outkast and Dungeon Family, to Josh and I being in the middle of nowhere where there's cornfields and cows.
Yeah.
And somehow that world met our world.
That's because you guys are cool as shit and you make original shit.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone's looking for. Everyone wants something that's authentic and original, and it's an idea that it doesn't feel like they took that idea and just reprinted it. Like they tried. Like we all get our inspiration from places, but the people who try to do something because they actually want to make something new, those are the ones that that stand out, and that's what you guys do, and that's why you are where you are and where you're going, and what you'll do for as long as you want a career, you'll have one.
We've always asked ourselves, and people ask, those are some things too. Like the fans will ask us, like, give us some advice. Like, you got to know that you're doing it because you fucking love it and you want to be different and you want to make art that isn't being done. Like, why fit in and blend in with all of the same fucking sounds? You have to have your own lane.
Yeah.
And that is always what we've been, you know, like we've never wanted to sound like anybody else. And we don't fit into a specific genre for that reason. It was all very intentional and fully believed in our, you know, what we were coming up with, and was hoping people were going to get it. But knew we would continue to be fucking trying until they did. And we've kind of been like ahead of the trends, which has been kind of like really interesting to see, because it's like you make a piece of art and maybe some people don't understand it when it's being done, and that's cool, you know, and some people do.
And then a few years later they do.
A few years later they're like, oh fucking what? This is so like, you should have listened to it before.
Yeah.
You should have given it a chance before. But that's what we always strive for, is being the influence.
I can feel that.
We want to, I think there's just something so, it's just, I think it's the definition of who I am as an artist, is that if it's being done, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah,
like I've done it.
Yeah.
And not having to change our sound, because we've done the same, we are the same band. We haven't like reimagined in any way. We're just doing us.
Yeah. Would
And
you
we
say
love it.
you're satisfied?
If you asked me that 10 years ago, I would answer it differently. But I think it's all perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am so successful because people are influenced by us.
Yeah.
I think that is, to me, is the perspective of what an artist's success is when people look up to you and want to try and do something that you're doing and become influenced with their own music
And want to like
and feelings
collaborate with you
and collaborate, you
or
know,
tour with you.
yeah.
Or you know, you guys have the tour coming up with Deftones.
What? That's insane.
That's like a huge compliment.
Huge.
So even like you guys who you choose to tour with, when bands choose to tour together, it's a huge compliment.
Huge. And
It's
that's
like one of the
biggest.
highest.
That is the high. I mean, they
Yeah.
asked us to do their festival a few years ago.
Yeah.
And that was just like, wow, we're kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, it's cool. Well, it just
like-
it shows you where your music, like I said before, doesn't sit on just one genre or one type. Like you guys could truly tour with anyone
Yeah.
because it's music. That to me just says music, musical music that you don't have to box it up and sell it as something. Right. It just exists because it's this music like that. Those are great artists. And so I think you guys going out with Deftones and then going over here and playing there, like,
Yeah.
it's proof that like music exists
Yeah.
as it is.
We can fit. We've played electronic hippie festivals to hip hop. Like we did the Roots Festival once, and we find a space. I think to me, the success and feeling satisfied is a really. I mean, there's a lot of answers to that, but being respected.
It's a hard question to even answer.
It is a question that comes up, I think, a lot, though, as a person who has chosen the career of like, all right, this is my lane, I'm gonna do that.
And part of us is never satisfied because we're always going to be hungry.
Right.
So we'll eat and then we'll be hungry again. And
For sure.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. And I think that's just kind of as an artist, just like I need a release.
I need to make another thing.
I need to get this shit out of me.
Yeah.
I get it. And it's cathartic. And thank God I had music before I realized therapy was very much necessary. I don't know
too.
what I would have done.
Music saved me.
Yeah.
It saved me from, I don't know if it was myself or from other people, but it saved me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
definitely. And then I found therapy and that's great.
Yeah, it's
But I
wild.
also noticed that if I don't create, I'll realize I haven't created in like a few months. And I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I need to like
The
go
itch.
make something.
Yeah.
It's almost like working out for different part of your,
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's so cathartic. It got me through the hardest times I could have imagined. Thank God I had it. But and then also realizing after the fact, being like, oh yeah, like I have all these daddy issues and all these other things that I was definitely writing and putting stuff into.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Because you weren't doing music when you lost your father.
No.
So this was before.
Yeah. Yeah. It just kind of, I don't know, just came kind of stuck into my brain, and that was the normal thing, and it came out in other ways. Music luckily was there to release some of it.
I feel like that would have the music, everything. I really feel like our subconscious drives us. Like it decides for us almost.
Absolutely.
Like me and Nicole talk about this all the time. Our relationship wasn't like a plan. We met each other and it just started unfolding. But it was at we were both, I was in my career like full swing, and she was, it was not like an ideal time to get into like your forever relationship, I guess. I don't know.
For sure.
But here we are 18 years later, and we're like, people are like, how do you guys do it? And we're like, well, we like each other. We want to be together, but I don't know. Just we're guided somehow. And I think that we needed each other. I really, really feel like if I tracked back how I got to her, I think it was my subconscious the whole time.
Think so? Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that I needed a bunch of things I didn't even know I needed.
Yeah.
And that the relationships that I had led me there in a good way. Like I actually think I'm like a lucky person that I've only had like good, nice relationships that like felt like they almost protected me along the way. I don't know. Like that's how I see it.
Yeah.
Like I only had good experiences of people, and like I didn't have any horror stories or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I ended up right where I'm supposed to be. And then I found my way, and then I started doing therapy, and I started like working on myself, and I got here where I feel like I'm a fully developed person.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think our music got me there. So if I didn't start my band, I don't know what would have become of me. And then that carried me to adulthood.
Yeah.
Which was, I think, hard, like a hard bridge to cross over to, like becoming a full-grown adult.
That's still, I can't.
You know what I mean? And then unpacking all the shit and like going through it. I think music was like the vehicle that got me all the way to adulthood. And then my wife was by that point I think it was when I had kids was when I was like, oh, I'm an adult. I gotta be that's responsible and
be did you guys get married?
No, we just had kids, and then we got married later.
Yeah. Because that's kind of, I
it's
feel
all
like
out of order.
Yeah, I feel like that's more of the norm too. I mean, my mom and dad, they had a kid before they got married, but
it didn't bother us.
Yeah, no.
So this is the other thing is like now modern, like where we are in the world today, we're not old.
No.
But my parents, when they were my age, were old.
We're
like it was a different time.
The oldest person I knew.
Right.
My
Like
mom.
we're getting like, I thought at 46, I would be like really old.
Yes.
And I thought I'd no longer be on stage and I would just be washed.
Yeah. Just like sleeping.
And I'm
I
not.
don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
I know.
I feel
it's
younger.
only the beginning. Almost to me, when I keep getting older, I'm like, this is still always it's like the beginning. Maybe it's a record cycles thing. Yeah. I'm so smart now.
Yeah, you're in your prime.
It's wild, the things that when I think about in my 20s.
Yeah.
You're like, fucking hell, I wish I knew. But
Me too.
I just didn't.
Yeah.
I wish I knew some things back then, but I do now.
I think you guys are hitting your stride, and it's a bigger stride.
Yeah, it's fun. It's so fun. I'm so glad that like back in the day when we released Voices, 2014, we signed to Republic Records.
Mm-hmm.
We had the radio dude, Charlie Walk. I don't know. If you know Charlie
the big
Walk.
pop experience.
He's like, we're gonna be a star.
Yeah.
We're gonna fucking. I have a
so
video of him actually
good.
like jumping on a couch, being like,
yes,
like sweating, being like, you guys are gonna be
doing the Charlie
huge."
Walk.
And we're like, okay, well that's cool.
Yeah.
Like that sounds awesome. And then he's explaining to us how, or maybe our managers at the time explaining to us like literally top 40 is 12 songs on repeat. And if you know the right fucking guy to put your song on top 40, at least that was 2014.
Yeah, that's it. That was it.
We were like, what? That's so fucked up, man. But also like, whoa, Charlie Walk, that guy who's sweating and jumping on the couch.
The guy.
He's the guy.
Go for it.
He said we're going to be a star.
Yeah.
Go for it. And we did. And then our manager at the time was like, you know what? I think this might be smart to not be on top 40. I think it might be a better move to do it this way. And I remember just being like, I trust you. I believe in you. We were on top 40 for like maybe a month or something. And then we decided to not, because major label, just that fucking weird world.
And that
we
was
were so excited,
and
but
it was
also
very of the time as well.
Yes.
It was very much a moment, which is also just more like for me, it's just more legendary to hear you talk about it because
yes, yeah,
it's such a time. I mean, it's 11, 12 years ago is like in music.
Yeah,
that's like a century.
It was right. Yeah, it was right when Lord. Remember the whole Lord. Remember Lord and her shit fucking blew up, and we signed to Lord's label, and they were like, "You're gonna be the next Lord." We're like, "Well, that's cool," because she was still fucking huge. But you know, as you see, you can only go so high.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful that we decided not to do that, because I don't know if we would have made. I don't know if we'd still be here. I don't know if we would be. I think it was like kind of a sign from God of you should just kind of do you and fucking be you because people need you. And take your, like make the art first always.
How have you worked out the loss in your life?
Oh man. I mean, yeah, I've had fucking so much loss. It's crazy. It's a one thing I kind of know how to deal with, which is interesting. At a young age, my dad passed. My sister passed. She committed suicide about 6 years ago.
Oh, I'm
7,
so sorry.
Maybe longer now. Actually, it's crazy. I had some close friends die of cancer in like their early 30s. Kind of loss has been the only thing I know how to process because it's all traumatic and wild. I mean, loss is just is a fucking crazy experience. But it affects me still. It always will. It probably affects me of why maybe I don't want a boyfriend because I don't want to lose somebody, or I worry about, people in my life, them getting out of control or them leaving me, or it does stick to me in all kind of aspects of I guess maybe my fear of loss, because I know how much it fucking hurts. So I have learned, and I'm still learning, to open myself to a space where, because I'll like cut myself out and kind of I'll do the dismissive, don't get too close to me, don't care about me too much, because I know you're gonna leave me kind of mentality. That was mostly most of my life.
Does any of it come out in I know it comes out in the music. I can kind of hear it.
Yeah.
But the front woman, is that like someone that is like the person I am on stage is a different version of me than this person right here?
Yes.
Like it's some person I have to be that is me. I'm not saying it's not me.
Yeah.
But it's some other person, like some other version that is still me. I'm not acting. I mean, I go out there and I know
it's
like
a channeling of another part of me.
But I've seen you on stage. Like I know good front people. Like it's natural. You walk out there and you are that person, whoever that person is on stage. But that person was created by something. Like that version of me up there is someone who lost their father, went through poverty, went through a bunch of other shit, and like emerged as this, I don't know. It's like, I do think it's connected. Like somehow that person that you are on stage is someone that was created by life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's like the only place I can be that guy, maybe.
It's maybe the piece of confidence that I never
and strength
was
and,
allowed to have or be.
And
the
a little
strength,
bit fearless. Like there's a little bit of, like I see with you, it's like there's a sharpness, there's a fearlessness, there's a, so it's like that person. I guess I always just try to relate who the child, the young me, whoever, they came up and they emerged into this like character that people think they know, and they do. They know, like people relate to that guy through my music or whatever, and they think they know me, and they do know that part of me, but they don't know me like this.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
But that guy was created somehow.
Yeah. It was always there. That's interesting. I've never really thought of it in that kind of way. I always kind of just thought,
because the person I see on stage with you is not a people pleaser. It's not afraid.
No, I'm not.
It's interesting.
It's my time too,
Yeah,
right? And
it's
it
interesting.
is about me. It is
Weird,
about.
right?
I mean, it's about us. It's Josh's. But it's about fucking me, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you.
It's strong.
I'm gonna show you that I'm fucking worth it, and I'm worthy, and I'm fucking badass, and I'm all of the things that I, was never told or had yet. That's bizarre. I never
Isn't that
really
weird?
thought about that before.
But that is like, I see it and I go, oh, that girl knew that girl existed and went on stage to be that person. But I wonder if, so I was just thinking about I was thinking about you as like a 17-year-old losing your father and going through these horrible things and like sitting in your room, not wanting to disturb anyone. And then I saw like a clip of you in my mind on stage as like the person that the impression I had of you was my first impression.
Right.
So this impression is my second impression. This is a different impression.
Yeah.
And I go like, oh, so I wonder where that 17-year-old imagined or created the person that she was gonna be.
Yeah.
And even if that person only exists on stage, I would probably argue it doesn't. I would probably argue that the lead singer comes out in different situations when you need it to.
I think so.
Right?
I think so.
I think for me too, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it can't just be on stage. I mean, it has to. I think, my goofiness. I'm not gonna. Josh and I are so fucking goofy, and we just laugh all the fuck. Like we have
That's what he said.
sense of humor. Like we just love to laugh. But I would never try and. Well, I guess I'm kind of funny sometimes, but it's just not even that side of me does not even want to come out on stage.
That's funny. Me either, by the way.
I just laugh all day at myself.
Yeah.
Like that's what I say. We're really cool on paper,
Yeah.
sure, but man, if people could be a fly on the wall, where my normal day is just like, is that the same fucking person?
Yeah.
But there's so many different sides of people, right?
Yeah.
So the badass fucking woman, just fucking let me show you my hear me roar person is necessary on stage. Probably should be necessary in other spaces, but maybe I think it comes out in different ways. It comes out in other ways. I've been lucky enough to process my trauma in a lot of ways, and I don't like scream at Josh anymore.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't need to, I'm capable of using my words now, which is wild. So cool.
Me too.
So cool.
Yeah.
And I love using that. I love being honest.
I do
love
not like fighting. I don't like fighting. I like talking.
I do not like fighting either.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no fun in that.
Yeah.
I like to get in fist fights though. That's fun. But that's usually a weekend thing.
Yeah. Do you get in fist fights?
Can you imagine? No.
I don't know. I was like,
Can you imagine if I'm just all like,
She-
fucking, let's get into a fight.
let's go.
You guys want to get into a fight tonight?
I could
No
see
reason.
you. I could see you punching somebody.
I could. Yeah. No, I will someday. But
That's crazy. But I don't know if it could have been any other way. Because I think about it like you
Yeah.
may know now how to express yourself outside of songs, but you may not have gotten to the songs and gotten to learn how to make the songs if you didn't need it.
yes. Or have, a healthier lifestyle and relationships outside of music.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to my friends now. I can tell them how I feel, or hey, that was kind of fucked up that you did that, or whatever, or I'm
Yeah.
feeling whatever. I didn't know how to do any of that. I was just all, hey, what's up? So the people in my life, and I think there was a stint of there was just surface people, and the people who used the space for where I fit in, and that was always the I'm cool, I'll do whatever, and this is great, and I'm not going to tell you, but all of the songs were everywhere was just put into the songs. And it's weird to be on the other side of that and seeing that.
It's amazing though to think about like the process and journey of what it means to become us. And so if the music isn't the most important part of us, if it's something that we've done,
Yeah.
and then maybe it's how most people know us.
Yeah.
So all
Right.
the people out there in the world that are aware of you and me, it's likely because of our music. But that was just a byproduct of the journey of us on our way to being a fully realized me. that understands myself, is pretty interesting because like all the details are the book. The Phantogam book or movie came out.
Yeah.
All those details are they color the whole thing in, but it was all just this like process of you growing all the way up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and becoming the like fully like the oak tree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think our last album is both of our favorites.
Yeah.
It's with the process, the being smarter, the experience, you know, that feeling of not knowing how to speak and having to use your art to release, and also kind of leaning into that and being the person of like, I need to be depressed to write. I can't be happy. I can't have this person care about me. I need to be in the dark space so I can create these songs for our fans to relate and to be able to, you know, respect. It was this awful cycle of just not wanting to be happy and thinking it was going to fuck up your art, or, you know, it changes a lot, but like relying on alcohol to get my emotions out with lyrics for the song was a normal thing for us, but me.
I think it was the same. I think,
to tap into, it's crazy what artists will do to fucking make art for people like you, and you've seen it and everyone has seen it, you know.
I also think I was like doing that thinking but I was also medicating.
Absolutely.
And I didn't even realize how much pain I had.
Same.
And the music gave me relief, but I felt like I needed that to make that. And it was all just misguided. But I do think that's just like an underdeveloped person who hasn't fully realized like their own capability.
Absolutely.
And so like I thought I needed to be conflicted, depressed, all of that to be good, a good artist as well.
Yeah.
And then I realized like as an adult, I realized like, no, that was a young way of looking at music.
Yeah. I mean, again, yeah.
Like I would say you guys are the best version of your band today.
I think I agree. And that it does have a lot to do with being fucking mentally healthy
and fully developed. It's just like
developed.
And I think that to me is like the same. I think like I didn't know what I would be at 46, but here I am, and I'm actually more capable.
Yeah.
Of doing it all,
enjoying it more.
Right.
Like going into a song and not expecting that you need to fucking find the darkness of the, you know, rock bottom to get that chorus. Like fucking just
got some choruses though. You did get some choruses.
Thank you.
No, wouldn't want you to go back and relive it, but there's good.
Also there's also a better way of doing it. Realizing.
But congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It was really nice to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you too.
Leroy was a real star.
Thanks for being such a positive person in this world and helping fucking artists be the best they can. That's truly
couldn't have done it without you. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. Man.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to Artist Friendly. We really appreciate it. If you like the show, you can also follow us on Spotify. You can follow us on Instagram at artist.friendly. And you can watch us on YouTube and Veeps. Leave comments. I always read them. See you next time.